I have to confess, I spent 30 minutes taking a nap with Siri at 3 o'clock in the morning so that I could finish writing the show notes for some of these podcasts. Hi, I'm Sybil. I'm an esthetician and spa owner.
And hi, I'm Alex Ellis. I'm a body nerd and wellness expert, and we are business besties.
And bosses. Running your own business, it's hard.
But we're terrible employees, so we're figuring it out.
Hey, I've already figured it out, but we promise to share everything we know about what it takes to get 6 figures.
And be brutally honest about what works and what totally sucks.
I'll be honest, a bunch of it totally sucks. But let's get started.
That is so true. Welcome back to Skinfessional. On today's show, we are talking all things pricing, and specifically how to price your services, which I know you are definitely thinking of. If you have a business and you sell stuff, you're thinking about pricing. We'll talk about if you really should get other people's advice on pricing, how to do some market research and look at competitors' pricing.
So valuable.
And
I'm going to tell you my secrets on how I make pricing super special to each and every client. And that's how I actually get the best price out of every single client.
Yes. So I came in today and I said, we got to talk about pricing, even though apparently you're taking naps at 3 o'clock in the morning, which are not naps, you guys. That is called sleeping. It is not a nap.
It was only 30 minutes.
That is not a nap.
And Siri totally woke me up.
I know.
And my cats thought it was great.
I'm sure they did. They were like, oh, more, mom, more. But as a business owner, pricing is... I feel like it's easy to say it's one of the most difficult things, only because it feels like you're kind of guessing.
You're totally guessing, and I'll be straight with you. I still will sometimes have trouble with pricing. I've been doing this for a long time, and I actually want to share a real confession about when I first started. So I have had a lot of pricing problems, and we're going to do a whole episode about what it was like when I broke my business and raised prices. That's a whole episode.
Raising prices is its own chapter.
It's a whole chapter. And if you're just starting out, starting with pricing is so very valuable, because when I first started, I set my prices, and I did not set my prices in an accurate fashion. And so I wound up having to raise my prices 150% one year, and I essentially broke my business.
I'm sure your clients were really stoked about that one.
Now, mind you, I will say that it was a success. I did successfully break my business, and I have a lot of things to talk about with the success of breaking my business at 150% increase. But setting your prices and doing pricing correctly is so incredibly valuable. You have to do it, and you have to think about it, and you have to go in with laser-like focus and really do some research on it, and not just be like, well, I think down the street they're doing this price, so I'm going to do that price, or I feel comfortable with this price, so I think I'm worth this, and that's all I'm going to do.
Yeah, and I have the same, stories of pricing things, worried about all of the wrong reasons, and then literally paying to teach customers yoga. Like, that's not what I got in business for at all. So we want to share, our stories and our lessons learned from pricing, the mistakes that we've made, so that hopefully your pricing journey can be way shorter.
So much better. You guys are going to do so much better, because you're going to listen to this and be like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what to price. And if you've already made pricing mistakes, it's okay.
It happens.
It's okay. I just told you that I made huge ones. I've made a bunch of them. You can easily just pivot a little bit and start fixing those mistakes now. And hopefully you'll be like, I got this. It's going to be fine, because we're going to give you solutions. It's cool.
Yeah. So let's just start. Like, how do you pick a price?
Yeah. You don't pick it out of a bag, and you don't just ask your friends. No. You don't be like, so what do you think I should be, Alex, what should I be charging for my services? No, that's not what you do.
No.
You can definitely ask ask people's opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. But I always say start with some market research, just because it is good to know what your competition is charging. That is always a good place to start. But it's not the place that you finish.
No. So I want to talk to you, a pricing thing for me that's at top of mind is my membership community. Because for some people, and we'll talk more about this too, about positioning, because that really is what it comes down to. You could argue that, it's like a gym membership. Well, there's some gyms that charge $20 and there's other gyms that charge $250. So market research is important, but it also is super important to consider, like, who who is your client, right? Who is this for? Because that type of person, the person that spends $250 on a gym membership is not the person who spends $15 and never goes to the gym, right? They're two totally different people. And so you have to really be sure and know who your client is.
Right. That is something important to think about, because I know that even when we were just talking about, I'm starting up a skin fitness club for online. And one of the things you straight up asked me, like, who is the person using this? And it's important to know, because that person is the person who you're asking to give you money. And like, for example, my clientele for my spa right now, my solo practice, those people are very kind of like high roller clientele. A lot of those clients are high roller clients. And I specifically catered my menu to those kind of clients. If I wanted to have clients who were not serious about their skin, I would probably have a different set of pricing. Okay? So I made the decision years ago that I wanted people who are only serious about their skin. And therefore, I was going to have clients who came in and did not blink at paying $299 a session to see me.
Right.
But when I first started, because I was new, I was like, yeah, $125 seems really expensive for a facial. And when I looked around, everybody was charging like $125, and that seemed great. But I was worth, even when I was a baby esthetician, my education was actually worth more than that.
So I have an interesting question, because I'm already going to tell you, it's really interesting, this question I want to ask you. But similarly, in my field, like, I have a degree in exercise biology, which is unlike many people who are, or not many, but there's some people in fitness who are like, they just like working out, and so they're
like, I work out at the gym all the time. I know so much stuff. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah. But, I've spent time doing cadaver dissection. I've had my hands in bodies. Like, I have a ton of education. How do you position yourself to then price what you're worth?
So, I mean, for me, I know that I make sure that I put because I have a lot of education as well. I believe we met at a cadaver class.
Yeah, we did.
And most estheticians, I don't know how many out there, raise your hands. How many of you have been to a cadaver class and have cut up bodies, looked at bodies being cut up?
Touched.
Yeah, looked at them.
We're freaks, I know.
Yeah. I think that you have to put your education forward. And that is something that I think you do very much. I mean, luckily social media allows us to do that. I've always had a website that has put my education. It is like one of the things on my page, education. So that people can scroll down and go to my website now. You'll be like, whoa, education. Woo, there's so much knowledge.
Yeah.
I've always put that forward. I try to keep up on videos so that I'm trying to be better about that, to keep my education forward. And I post on social media constantly with education and knowledge.
Right. Yeah, because I guess, too, it comes down to people knowing, liking, and trusting you.
Yeah.
Which, is interesting. I was thinking, too, I wonder if, there's some people online who put all of their letters after their name.
Yeah.
Like, I see this in Instagram bios. And I'm like, but does your client actually know? Like, I know what those letters are, like NASM, CPT. Like, I do, but does the person who's actually going to pay you money know anything about that?
I don't know what any of those are. I don't know what those are.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's my point exactly.
I don't know what any of those are. And I think also, testimonials help. I know that in my industry, before and after pictures really help. And it's hard in my industry for before and afters. I know for me, like, most of my clients are clients who are like, do not show my pictures. I'm a person who does not want my picture to be shown. I am
need friends like me.
Right. I'm a person that people will know me, and I don't want to be seen before or after. I will be seen after somewhere
with lots of makeup on on a red carpet.
I don't want to be seen. So it can be hard sometimes to get those right people for before and afters. But if you can, awesome. Make sure you reward those clients heavily.
Oh, yeah. That's a great point. Case studies, testimonials, before and after pictures.
Yeah, all those people.
Which is the same thing that I do in my business on every sales page.
Right.
I have testimonials. I have your testimonial.
Right.
I have photos of people. I have screenshots of stories where people are sharing their experiences.
Right.
And that social proof is super valuable, like Yelp and all that.
So what do you find? Because I know for you, I pay attention to your social very heavily, because you are very good about throwing up, your videos on what you're doing and your testimonials. How else do you find for yourself that you put up positioning?
That's a great question, because as you were talking about this, I was like, oh my God, I'm not doing enough. But we'll talk more about that later.
I think you actually do a lot. I do find that you do a lot, but I do. You could I mean, we can always be doing more. We can all do more.
One thing that I have really dedicated myself to over the last month or so is showing up live.
Yes.
Because I find if someone is live and, or raw, quote unquote, they're more accurately showing what they know and who they are than in a polished, edited YouTube video. So my podcast would be one, which is edited, but then going live and answering questions and just really engaging with people, I find is one way to they ask a question. And I just got this question recently. They're like, so I broke my foot. Like, when can I run again? And I'm like, go to a doctor. I'm not answering that for you. That's not appropriate.
This is a good point. You are not a doctor.
No.
You are not a doctor. Make sure
Scopo practice.
Yeah, do not talk about things that you are as if you're a doctor. I mean, we can be very knowledgeable, but you are not a doctor.
Yeah, my response was 6 weeks is how bones normally take, but I would definitely get a doctor's opinion on that. But what do you think? What are other ways?
I think... I mean, we just talked about Yelp very briefly for a second, but testimonials are... to this day... Every single client who finds me through Yelp. So there is a really good statistic, and this is honestly because literally Alex just asked me, do you pay for Yelp this morning? And the answer is yes, I do pay for Yelp. Now, I pay for the basics of Yelp. So it's for me, it's $125, and we're totally talking about prices here. It's
a month?
Yeah, it's $125 a month. And the reason why are a couple. One is with Yelp, if you pay their base rate, you actually show up on their app. Now, I don't know about you, but everybody uses apps. Also, Yelp is hard.
They are the mafia. They make you pay to show up on the app?
Yes, they are. They are the mafia. Understand that Yelp is the mafia, but they, like the mafia, you got to pay to play.
Yeah.
It's just how it is, guys. You just got to do it. So the thing with that is you have to show up on the app, and Yelp is hardcore. I don't know if you've ever clicked on a Yelp thing. It will just take you to that app. So if you are not on the app, you do not get seen.
Also, their website sucks on mobile.
That's because it just takes you to the app.
Right. Yeah. That's about the time I tried not to download the Yelp app and quickly changed my mind.
Yeah, no, and they do it on purpose because they don't want people to show up. So if Mom and Poppy doesn't pay, they don't get playtime, right? Whoa. So you just pay for Yelp for that reason. 2, I was sitting in a Mind Body online, and I'm going to say their name even though I don't use them anymore. I used them for years. I was sitting in a Mind Body online class, and they actually do market research still on all of their demo devices, and they did this thing where they were testing how people utilize their app, because they were testing their app. And they found, this was all that I cared about in this whole presentation, they found that every single person, 100% of people, used Yelp to get to their business. So no matter what their device they were using, how they were using it, with 500 people across the country, Yelp was used to find a business.
That's so frustrating.
Okay, that statistic is mind-blowing to me. So therefore, I literally paid for Yelp that day and was like, Yelp and me, we're best friends. And that's just how it is.
And you get a lot of clients from there.
I get clients as in people, I'll be like, how did you hear about me? And they're like, I found you on Yelp.
Yeah.
Well, do I say that I get the best clients from Yelp? No, because I've actually paid for Yelp for advertising and stuff. It never worked for me as a sole proprietor. That could be a whole nother conversation. But I do pay to play with Yelp because it does keep my status as people are like, you have good reviews.
Right. You exist as a business.
You exist as a business.
Yeah.
You seem to be legitimate.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
And that's that social proof and building that.
Right. And it allows me to price at the price that I'm pricing. Price at the price that I'm pricing.
Well, and you could also use that to search competitors and see what they're pricing as
Absolutely. Well. It does allow me to do all those things. Now, mind you, I stopped pricing competitors years ago just because I don't have competition. I don't. There is nobody who plays in my field. There's nobody who's in my area who's me. And if you're starting out, that's your goal, is to be so good at your gig that there is no one who is you. That is no one who is as good as you at your practice. That is nobody who has your touch. That is nobody who has your knowledge. That you are so good that people fly in to see you and you need to be by the airport like I am.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I will say, from personal experience, that's the goal, but you can't start there.
No, you absolutely can't.
So,
and I just told you where I started.
Yeah. But based on, where you actually are starting, there's a number of factors to consider.
Yeah.
But I do want to tell a story of when I did price as if I were the New York Times bestselling author that I plan on being. And guess what? People didn't buy. Yeah. Because no matter how much you pitch the value, if people aren't like banging down your door to get in, you can't, I feel like you can't command those prices.
Yes.
And it becomes a way harder sell.
Absolutely.
We were talking about like someone like the Kardashians, if they were selling a piece of gum, like, yeah, they could probably charge $10,000. I mean, let's just Kylie Lip Kit. Like,
right.
It's not.
Okay, so let's roll that back. So we were talking about how setting yourself as value. So when you're pricing yourself, you need to know a couple things. You need to know what your value is. Mm-hmm. Okay. So personally, I think that Alex here has a ton of value. She has a bunch of knowledge. She is the me of what she does. Hence the reason she's sitting next to me.
Thanks, friend.
But if people don't know that yet,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Also, she is working in a much broader base at the moment than maybe I am. So she's just got to get that knowledge out there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have the value of who you are, right? And then you also have this...
The worth of the value of the item.
Right. The kind of the benefits or the value of the item that you're giving. And then I was like, Kim Kardashian can charge anything she wants while she sells a piece of gum, right? She can also charge even more for a piece of gum that
does cool stuff.
Right, that makes you smarter. Right? So you'd be like, I'll give you all the money.
Yeah.
All the money for those things. Whereas if I was like, I'm selling a piece of gum, people are like, I don't know who you are, who cares? You're like, I'm selling a gum that makes you smarter. People are like, well, maybe I'm kind of interested. This gum seller makes you smarter, huh?
Yeah.
Right? So understand what you're selling and who you are. And you understand what your value is and price based on those things. And understand that as you increase one, you're also increasing the other and continue to raise your prices based on those things.
Incrementally.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I priced my membership community high as a premium membership, which isn't wrong, and that is ultimately where I want to go. But then to sell it was an uphill battle, and ultimately the market said, that's too much. We're not paying that. And so now I'm going down lower. We're going to talk about benefits versus features, leading with the benefits, altering the packaging a little bit. So essentially it's the same thing, but how I talk about it is different at a lower price point, and people that I've been talking to in like my DMs are already like, oh, that sounds so great. I can't wait for it. So the vibe, the energy around it has definitely changed. That's not to say, I'm dropping it down from $197 to $67, taking some things out. But that's going to go back up to probably $97. Mm-hmm. Is it going to happen next week? No. We're going to do this launch, see how it goes, see how the feedback people get the results from people, because I know once they're in, I think that's also it. Right. I know once they're in, they are going to have the transformation that I'm promising because I have integrity, I'm authentic, and I know what I'm talking about, but you got to get them in the door.
Right. And that also goes towards the idea of like your clout, your testimonials. You start people at something where it's smaller, and a lot of times the pricing, I always tell people, price more expensive, but discount it. Or give an introductory offer, right?
Yeah, you said like price a little bit higher so that you have that wiggle room.
Right. So a lot of times I'll be like, so for right now I'm bringing in a new service. It is a buccal sculpting facial massage because I'm learning how to do it, right? And so I know that this service is going to be $399 per session.
The results are ridiculous.
They are incredible.
Go look at her Instagram.
It is incredible. Yeah. Okay. It is hard to do on the body. Okay, it's a lot of movement on the hands, the shoulders, and whatever. It is, for many people, this is going to be a hard technique to learn. I've been doing Kabito massage for forever, so it was not too difficult for me to learn.
I just like the little cheek.
Yeah, you get amazing results, okay? People are going to love this service. So you need to charge for that. That's what this is, because you need to make it worthwhile. If it was $100, people are like, well, why am I spending $100 on this? Because also you have to have, the value needs to be there as well, because people are like, it has to be... People almost need something to be worth it, and they need to be told that it's worth it. Mm-hmm. If your car is only like $100. Well, it must be shitty, right?
Right. Or even like you can buy $19 Bluetooth headphones off Amazon. Been there, done that. They're not anything like.
They're not Beats by Dre.
No, they're not the $200.
No.
Or like AirPods. Like it's not the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, but when I brought it to my clients, I had an introductory offer. Because A, I wanted to make sure I was learning how to do it. I wanted to test things out on clients, like what's working, what's not working for this. But I also wanted to incentivize them to try something and to also give me some before and after pictures.
Get them in the door.
Get them in the door. Get some bodies. Get some butts in the bed, right?
Yeah.
And then once you have that and you can have the testimonials and you have your before and afters and you have all your stuff set up, then you can go ahead and raise those prices.
Yeah.
And know that you can also, if it's not selling for any reason, you can go to clients who you think are interested and individually be like, hey,
I got a great deal.
I got a really good deal. It's just for you. But, because I really think this is going to be a good package for you.
Yeah.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to put together a series for just you because I really want to get into your eyes and whatever. And, but don't tell anybody. I'm going to set up a series just for you and set a series package price just for that person. And it's just for that clientele. And that's what I do for mine when I set specific series pricing.
Before we talk about deals, because I do want to talk about that, I also just want to be sure, like, please, for the love of God, do not price your prices so low that you do not cover your expenses. Do not be like me and be paying to teach people. Don't do that. So if that means bust out a spreadsheet, y'all know I love my spreadsheets, and run the numbers and figure out what it actually costs to show up. Make sure that you're factoring in your time, that you're also getting paid for your time.
Yeah.
And then see, then what do I price based on all of that?
So let's talk about for spas specifically. I know what stuff costs. Okay, so let's take, for example, the things you need to paying attention to for spas. Okay, so a service will cost you the time in the room. So that is actually a quantifiable time. Mm-hmm. How much time does it actually take you rent-wise to be in this space? Okay, the time on your body, and that's something I think people don't equate, but our bodies, they fall apart. The statistics for estheticians is we last in the industry 3 years.
What?
3 years.
Wow.
We last in the industry 3 years. If you can make it past 3 years, if anybody's listening to me and you made it past 3 years, clapping for you, congratulations.
I can help you with that.
Yeah, and Alice can. Congratulations on that. I would say that the reason why I've lasted so long is because I did have a functional fitness person that I got from the very beginning who helped me set up my room, take care of my body, and I've been seeing her for like 15 years. Okay? So 3 years is what we tend to live by for multiple reasons, mostly because we blow something out. Thumbs, shoulders, backs, legs, necks. Like we just blow things out, okay? So your body, you need to think about it. Is this hard on you? All right, my hydrofacials are super simple. I charge a ton of money for them because hydrofacial requires me to, but they are super simple on me. The service itself, how much are the materials? So my hydrofacial materials cost me money. Each service for hydrofacial costs me about $15 to $20 in just the product, the tips, the tubing, the serums that come out.
Cleaning solution.
Right. All of that stuff, that costs me money. My new buccal massage, it cost me maybe $1 in product. But on my body and my time in this room, it cost me about the same. So when I look at those together, they're going to be nearly the same price-wise in this office. All right?
Well, and also, going back to before and afters, the before and afters with the buccal are completely different than before and afters with the hydrofacial, which is why you can charge so much more.
Absolutely.
Which is benefits versus features. So do you want to describe that a little bit?
Yeah, benefit. No, I'm going to let you describe benefits versus features.
Okay.
Because you're very good at benefits versus
I'm very good at features. I can tell you all about the features.
Yes, you are, because you've been doing this.
Yeah. So, let's even just take the buccal facial sculpting massage.
Good girl.
Okay. So a feature would be how much time you spend on the bed. Would be, 60 minutes of facial massage to your oral and your eyes under this with light to medium pressure and lymphatic drainage and probably, and then the cheek slapping, the little, I love that part. You're like that. Those are features. Like, what are you actually doing? right? But back to this idea of, oh, what about if I have letters after my name? Your client doesn't know two shits about like what lymphatic drainage is or what buccal massage is. Like they don't know.
I really hope that my clients at this point know what lymphatic drainage is.
No, I hope they do.
but the schmo off the street does not. It's totally true.
Right. For a benefit is decreased wrinkles around your eyes, improved skin texture,
TMJ repair.
Yeah, less jaw pain.
Yeah.
Have that makeup-free look. Or what? How do you describe it? Where people are like, I just want to look like I don't have makeup on, even though I do, or I don't have to wear as much makeup.
Yeah, I don't have to wear as much makeup, or like clear skin. Just all those things.
Yeah. So
non-surgical facelift.
There we go. Non-surgical facelift. Yeah. So those are benefits, and leading with those, like that's top of mind for your people. They don't care how they get there. They want to know, what do I get out of it? So in my world, the benefit is less pain, knowing exactly what to do for a wellness routine, being consistent, getting stronger, removing some of that confusion as to what should I actually be doing for my body. How we get there in features is monthly training, video library. I send you a box of goodies. That's not as enticing to demand, really any price, as it is to tell them, here's where you will be, who you will become, the benefits of buying in from, versus the features.
That's making me think of like how people write their menus right now, and like menu writing is a whole other thing.
They're all feature focused. Okay. Nobody cares about features. And I tell you this, again, we've talked about this before. I did a launch. I put all the features up front. I charged way too much. And guess what? Nobody bought because the clients don't care. They don't care.
Yeah. And they don't have time to read. And so you need to put everything that you want right up at the very beginning. Far at the beginning, and we always talk like estheticians. We get like in our heads about modalities. We're always like, I use this modality, and I use this modality, and our clients are like, I don't know what those are.
Yeah, they don't care.
Some people really aren't, because you do have certain clients who are like, I was looking for LED, but do they know why they're looking for LED? Do they know what that does? No,
because they saw it on Whitney Cummings' IG story.
Right,
so like literally what I'm coming and said to you.
Right, so sometimes you put it at the very bottom, like using LED, but you just want to be like, make you look younger.
It's so true. Yeah, you focus on what is top of mind for your clients and what is really, keeping them awake at night, or what they're afraid of, or, who they're trying to avoid becoming, and like tap into that.
And then you can price based on those things. Yeah. And then whatever price you're pricing at will make more sense to people. And when you're choosing those prices, because I want to make sure that we're still talking about pricing, because pricing is like a hard bag. You're just like, well, there's so much stuff to talk about pricing. It's a lot of unpacking.
Well, and it's like every element of your business.
It really is. Yeah. Like it's like how you make your money.
But it brings in who your client is, what your benefits are, like what all of those things.
It makes you. It's how often you feel about yourself at the end of the day, because when you have to discount something, or when you have to like argue with somebody about the price of something.
When you're like, and here's the door.
Or even when you have to like your friends and peers, where they're just like, how do you charge that much? Or when I have conversations where I've had many conversations with you or someone else where I'm like, why aren't you charging more?
Because I don't want to. Leave me alone.
I have the conversations all the time. I'm like, why aren't you charging more for that? Yeah. But understand that the price that you choose, it's very personal to you. And so you're going to choose that price, and know that you can change it.
You should change it.
Right? You can change it. It's your business. You live it for yourself, and it's going to be okay. But if you come away for one thing, it's price it higher than you think, knowing that you can drop it a bit lower.
Yeah.
Okay?
Because, and cover your expenses.
Yes, and cover your expenses. Because I do find that most people, unlike poor Alex here, was like, I charged too much. But if you had charged too much, but then been like, I discounted it. I added incentive.
I could have, but then I hate discounts.
I know, we all hate discounts.
We're going to talk about that too, but okay. Which leads us into making clients feel special by offering them special series and things like that.
So I have found over the years, we live in this world of discounting, and I hate discounting. I'm going to straight up there. I hate discounting. I hate it. I don't like it.
You're not a happy hour kind of
person. I fucking hate discounting. Okay, it devalues who we are.
Yes.
Devalues what we do. Okay. But we live in a Groupon age. We live in an age where every single person wants a discount. Alex, do you like discounts?
I was just telling her I bought this pair of slippers for my mom for Christmas that were 40% off. Mind you, they were still probably 5 to 10 times more expensive than other slippers, but they were 40% off. So it was a great deal. You know I got them.
Right? Right now we are in the holiday season when we're recording this, and we are at a time where everybody's like bombarded with discounts. I've been buying off the hook stuff because I'm like, woohoo!
It's on sale.
It's on sale.
Yeah.
It's on sale. Now, I am a person too who loves a good discount. Okay?
It's psychological.
Right? It comes in my inbox and I'm like, oh, it's on sale. It's on 20% off. Woo, I'm going to buy it.
It's not going to be this way forever.
It's 10% off, which means I'm just saving sales tax.
Oh my gosh. I love that too. It's side note, Black Friday sales. And they're like, it's 10% off. And I'm like, child, please, like, get out of my inbox. That was not even worth it.
California, we love you. So understand that if you're feeling that way, so are your clients. So when you add a discount to something, understand that you can feel like it's devaluing you. We understand. If you've priced high enough, it's not hurting you because everybody's doing this now. Nobody is sitting around being like, I'm totally losing money on this deal. Those Tom shoes, that they were like $40 or something. How much were they?
Yeah, it was like $48 including shipping.
Who makes $48 slippers?
But they're Toms.
Right? They're not. Oh my God. You know that those clippers cost them like $10 to make.
I know, but for every pair you buy, another person
A child gets their wings. Okay. So.
Well, you know what this makes me think too of Bed Bath & Beyond?
Yeah.
Like you
couponing.
always get the 20% off and you don't even have to have
They're out of business now, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yes.
Are they really?
Yes, they are.
That's because Amazon just like
that's
said.
because of the coupons.
Yeah. Well, no, but as I say, Bed Bath & Beyond, they're priced higher, and then at 20% off, you would get the Amazon price, but then you'd have to find the coupons, and you'd have to save the coupons, or you could just go to Amazon and buy the damn thing.
That's right.
At the price.
So this is the thing. When you're making decisions on discounting, what I like to do is a couple different ways. So the first thing I do is I always price higher than I think I'm going to actually need to charge. If I get that price, hells to the yeah. Okay. I also price enough that if I don't make a tip, I don't give a fuck. Okay. I still judge people. I'm like, fuck that person. I cannot believe they did not give me a tip. But I'm like, it's all right. I got paid. It's all good. Mm-hmm. Do not price based on the fact that you're going to get a tip.
Expectation of a tip.
Oh my God. Do not price on that. Okay. Never. That tip should literally be a tip. It should be gravy. I even tried not having tips once because I was like, no, but I still get tips and then I felt bad about life. Okay. So that's the small side note on tipping on pricing. So the next, really pricing is everything. So when you're doing your discounts, you want to make sure that you can add value to those discounts.
Yes.
Okay. So maybe you're not discounting an item. So you're like, I'm not offering 20% off or $25 off. What I'm doing is I'm adding something else to it. So I'm giving you an added service. And what I like to do is I like to add a service that I think that you're going to like, that's going to then bring you in for more additional services. So
it's like no brainer. People are like, holy guacamole, that is such a deal.
Right. So I'm going to create a series for somebody where I'm like, I already know that they love my hydrofacials. Sweet. You buy 3 hydrofacials. I'm going to give you one of those new buccals for free.
Hot damn. That's a good deal.
Right?
Well, and then they try it out and they test it.
Yes. And they become
like a drug dealer.
And and you fall in love. Okay?
Yeah.
What if I don't even give it for free? What if I even just tried 50% on somebody? 50% off that buccal. Right? Maybe I just create a package where it's,
I like the free.
I know. Free is good. People like free, right? So it just depends. You decide what you're going to do on how you're going to do it, right? So, and for me, like, I know that, so for example, one of the things that I have trouble with right now is January is the deadest month in the world for me. I get nobody. I get no play.
So you're all in my business because they're like New Year's resolutions.
I have no money and I'm fat and ugly and I'm at the gym instead.
I better go to the gym and I still hate myself.
And I just have no money, right? Because I've just spent it all on everything. I'm looking at my budget, Sybil. If I fucking hear one more time somebody says, I look at my budget, Sybil, go fuck your budget. Your budget's going to be my budget again in February when you're ugly. So
tell me how you really feel.
I know, my God.
That was Sybil Solon, not the esthetician who just came out right now.
Well, yes. Okay. So what'll happen is a lot of times I'll do a package where in October I'll sell a baller package, but you have to meet me November, December, and January.
Is there a limited amount of time that they can take advantage of this special?
They have to see me. They have to buy it in October, and they only get to see me in November, December, and January. They buy that package in October, and they see me for the facial is for November, December, and January. Mm-hmm. And it's prepaid for, and it's good. But it is a baller package. It's 50% off my services.
Right.
Because November is crazy. December is crazy. I have people fall off my book constantly. And January, I don't see anybody. It's like crickets. And so I give people 50% off because I'd rather see your money than not see your money.
It's true. Well, and also I want to add, it's important that there's a urgency, a cutoff.
Yeah, a cutoff.
You know, a deal that's available all the time is not a deal.
No. And if you don't use it, you lose that service. You don't lose the money because it's California. So you don't lose that money, but you lose that discount.
Right.
So that money in California, you can't have that. You have to look at your own rules. But you lose that discount. So that money stays with me. So you can use it for another service at full price or product at full price. But you no longer get that deal anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. I mean, and that's super smart about like forward thinking of how can I price right now to like future cast and make sure that like my bases are covered.
I do the same thing for my April because my April is also dead. So
spring break?
Yeah, no, tax season.
Easter? Oh.
Tax season. Dun. Sybil, I've been looking at my budget.
Go throw up.
Sybil, I've been looking at my budget.
It's so true. But no, I so appreciate what you said because that gave me a light bulb too as to an offer I'm going to be presenting in January, and on the way I do my sales is through a live online class called a webinar. And again, urgency is important. Contrast is important, like having different values of things. Yeah. So like one thing looks like a really great deal because that other thing is so super expensive. I'm sure for your clients, you're like, I'd really like that buccal, but that looks really expensive. Yeah. I'll get the hydrofacial instead. And then you're like, hey, but here's a package and you get to try the buccal. Once they try it, they're totally hooked.
Right.
But what I was going to say is that the offer during the live class, if you buy now, I'm going to give you a one-on-one coaching session for free. So it's no brainer. You're like, holy guacamole, that's a $200 value. She's just giving to me for free. All I have to do is make my decision right now. And then they're also getting a taste of what that higher priced experience is like, just like you were saying. Yeah. So that then they're like, oh, maybe I do want more of this one-on-one.Maybe I do want to upgrade to the higher thing. Yeah. So thank you for validating the idea that's been stewing in here for me.
We understand that we all love our clients. No matter how we just smack talk them a little bit, but we all love our clients. We actually want them to have wonderful experiences. We want them to have those good things we have to offer. We all know that they want the things we're offering. Otherwise, they wouldn't be our clients.
Yeah.
So although we sometimes are like, it's because we're like, I want you to have good experiences, good skin, good bodies, good health. It's like your mom wanting you to be happy and therefore being like, I need you to study. I need you to be stay at home and eat good food, and not eat the potato chips every night, go to sleep at a good time. It's because we care about them. And so you're just trying to help them out by giving them something awesome and like incentivizing them to do it. So it's a carrot kind of situation.
Where you give them what they want.
Yeah.
And then you also give them what they really actually need.
Exactly. And that's what you're trying to do, right? So it's interesting when people tell me, they're like, well, I don't want to sell to people. I'm like, you're not selling to people. You're giving them what they really need.
Well, also, if you truly, you're offering a great service. If you believe in what you do and you know it's going to transform and change your life for the better, it's almost selfish to not share it.
I've always believed that if you really love what you do and you're good at it, you're supposed to be continuing to do it. Mm-hmm. That's what our job is. That's what our job is.
So far we've talked about pricing. Look at the market, charge what you're worth, but also give yourself some wiggle room to give discounts to those special clients that you want to, or add on services to get them to try some of those VIP offers or higher level offers that you have.
And how I find, I'm going to go into just a real quick question, real quick thing about how I kind of find those special clients. Sometimes I go into my reports and I'll be like, oh, I'm looking for the clients who are like my big spenders who are spending a lot on this one service. This one service, I want to move those clients into this other service. So when I used to be my facial clients, I used to try to make them into waxing clients. My waxing clients, I used to try to make into facial clients. And for Christmas, one of the things I used to do is any client who was a waxing client, I would give them a free eyebrow for Christmas. And any of my waxing clients, I wanted them to become facial clients. I would give them a 50% off coupon for a facial. and that was their Christmas.
Oh, you mean your facial clients who get the free eyebrow?
Yes.
And the waxing
yes,
people?
my client, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. And then any people who I call my like big spenders, which were already like a person who did both, I would actually just pick a service that I thought was awesome, that I wanted everyone to be using, and they would just get that for free.
Nice.
So go in and look at your kind of your charts and look at your like data and be like, what am I trying to like promote to my clientele? Maybe it's a product. Maybe you really want to give them products. I hate giving away product, but maybe it's a product that you're trying to push. You can give away samples of that, whatever you want to do. So you're looking for the way that you can cross promote to your clientele when you're like doing those kind of like value addeds.
Now, what if you're just starting out and you're like, I'm not making money, and so I don't want to do any discounts because I have nothing to discount. And you do have to put forth a menu, like how...
For pricing.
Yeah, like how often can we incrementally raise that price just to plant a seed for this raising prices episode?
So you're not making any money yet, but you're going to. And you want to raise prices. I still would raise prices about every year, at least every 2 years. Mm-hmm. You definitely want to raise prices when you know that your book is getting full. So when you find that your book is full, you always raise, and it's across the board, 15 to 20%, knowing that you're going to lose 15 to 20% of your clientele.
But make it up.
In cost. All right. And that's just like standard. There are ways that I do it a little differently, but that's just standard.
And we will talk about that on
Absolutely.
another episode. So all this talk about pricing and money, I know for me always brings up money issues. If you this whole episode have been feeling like very hot and sweaty and uncomfortable, know
Stress.
that you're not alone. So I wanted to share some of the things that I've worked on to help rewrite my money stories, because that's the thing about our relationship with money. It comes from your family of origin. It comes from your own experiences. It comes from a lot of stories and honestly bullshit that you tell yourself is completely true. And when it comes to pricing your services, like we said already, it's for your client. So stay out of their wallet. It's none of your business what you think they are, like what they can afford, or, oh, but she's doing this or she's doing that. Like that's not necessarily your business, because if your client isn't spending money with you, they're spending it with somebody else.
Yeah. I've always thought of it like, you don't know their life. Mm-hmm. You know the life that they put forward to you.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you don't know, right? And I always like how you always say you don't like stay out of their wallet. I'm always like, get your hand in their pocket, because somebody else's hand is in there.
Yeah.
Somebody else is taking their money, and you don't know who's taking their money and why they're taking it. It could just be like crap money. At least you know that you're doing something good for that person.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't know their experience,
and your money stories aren't theirs.
Yeah.
Your relationship with money is not your client's relationship with money. Unless for some reason you are attracting a ton of people who are just like you, in which case like you got to reevaluate that if that's not working out for you.
Unless you're like a Kardashian, and they're like, good for you.
Well, who knows? I'm sure they have money stories too. Like we don't hear about it because nobody talks about money. Money is so taboo.
It's true. And so breaking that down a little bit. So when I was first in business, I grew up super white trash. And so I'd look at people and be like, oh, they can't afford that. Like, I'm not going to put out a bunch of product. Like, they can't afford that. I would pre-make decisions for clients, right? And maybe you do this too. Maybe you pre-make decisions for clients. Now, the Wax Queen, who is a fantastic saleswoman, she does a class, and she would be like, okay, so what you want to do is you want to put all the products down, and she would say this, you want to tell people what they can have, and they're going to tell you what they want. So I'm going to say that again. You're going to tell them what they can have, and they're going to tell you what they want. I have found that doesn't always work for me because I have a different strategy on selling, but I've always liked that policy. You are not making decisions for them. You're letting them make decisions. So you're going to always just think about things. You're going to tell them what they can have, and they're going to tell you what they want. Right? Otherwise, you're making decisions for them. That's not consent, man.
No. Well, and I say this too, coming from a place like I tried to pitch a $15,000 product. I've tried to pitch a $200. Like, I've been all over the place. And if you are already deciding that they cannot afford what you're trying to sell them, that's the energy you're giving off. That's exactly what you're going to get back.
It's true.
And so when you are setting these prices, like, you have to believe in what you are selling. You have to be obsessed with it. You have to love it, because that's the energy that's going to come across when you are pitching it.
Right. Absolutely true. And do you have any like tricks to kind of get into that mindset, or like get out of the mindset?
Yes. Yes. So one of my favorite books about money mindset is You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. She's the same woman who wrote You Are a Badass, if you're familiar with that book. And I just love her, just like no nonsense advice, super practical. She has exercises at the end of every chapter. And you better believe that I did every single exercise in the book. And it just was really helpful to shine a light on my money stories. Like, money, or what's it? You got to work hard for your money. That's one of those. I can't remember anymore because I've worked so hard to like dismantle it.
They are these preconceived notions that are not per se true.
Yeah. Or money doesn't grow on trees, or
change that perspective.
Yeah. And so something that I've been working with is making money is fun and easy, because that's what I want to experience. And so to focus on that, you have to dismantle all this other stuff. So it's not some like Pollyanna fake BS where you're just like, this is what I believe, but really you don't. So You're a Badass at Making Money is a fantastic book for that. And I will also add that it all comes down to your worth. If you don't feel like you are worthy enough to be charging that price, that's going to come across too. And so you have to be in a place where you're comfortable with yourself, you're confident in what you have to offer, so that when you put that price out, it comes from a real, true place of authenticity that you can stand behind and that you feel good about, because you feel good about yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And you should. And you should. So, and if for any reason you don't, if for any reason you do not feel good about your pricing or your authenticity, hey, go ask somebody, for support. I am sure especially if you're listening to this, you're watching this, you are pretty much a badass. Like, you're doing all the right things. You're asking for assistance. You are educating yourself. It's not just some schmo who decides that they're going to get some education. It's the good people who decide that they want to get knowledge. So I'm going to tell you right now, you're probably a badass, and
you already are.
Yeah. And you're doing all the work. So just keep it up.
Yeah. I love that. So we want to know what your pricing strategies are. If you need someone to bounce an idea off, we're here for that too. So reach out to us on Instagram, social media, and let us know what pricing lessons you have learned, or maybe pricing, I was going to say not strategies. What's it when you're like, oh my God, the sky is falling? Crises. There we go.
Crisis.
Pricing crisis.
Chicken Little. Chicken Little, the sky is falling.
That you're in right now. Hit us up on Instagram. I'm at Hala from Hala.
I'm at Your Skin Fitness Expert, and we're both at Skinfessional.
Yes, we are. Or you can call the Skinfessional hotline, which still in our notes says the Skinfessional box, at 818.
I just love that it's a box. Shut up.
At 818-473-5277. We will drop that in the show notes as well.
All right, so until next week,
keep your secrets to yourself.
Unless you're telling us.
Okay, bye.
Bye.